Hi, I'm Sid. We're with Genesis Window Tinting. Today we're going to be tinting a 2019 Tesla Model 3. It is a performance edition. Before we brought it into the shop, I had to do some testing just to get our baseline numbers. The seats were 189.1 degrees. Behind the glass, the seats were still 153, and then I got a reading on the dash of 161.3. So we're gonna check out all these numbers again once we're done tinting the car, but we'll get to the most important part, starting the prep and getting some film on this vehicle. So what I'm doing right here is, or what Josh has done here is that he's basically protected the trim here from any incidental damage. If this door just happens to make contact, it's gonna scratch this chrome trim. Each one of these pieces are about 175 bucks, and that's not even installed. So we definitely wanna protect this so it doesn't get damaged. So we finished up all the prep. It looks as if Josh is just finishing up a last door panel. We've masked all the door panels. We have a protective lining that goes across. It's self-adhesive, protecting especially the door panels from water intrusion. It's a big problem on the Teslas. We've also protected the trim going around the door. If you notice my clothes are a form of protection as well. I'm protecting the body of the paint, my belt, everything that is on my body is covered by cloth that's soft and won't scratch the paint. So now that we're done prepping the vehicle, we're gonna go ahead and start cutting this ceramic tint for this brand new Tesla. We are a Llumar Formula One Select Pro operation. That means we're gonna be held to the highest standards in terms of installation and customer service. On top of that, we carry an exclusive line of window film, including the Stratos series, which is the latest in ceramic technology. It marries ceramic film and IR absorbing particles into one film to give the highest level of IR reduction as well as the highest level of heat reduction. So what we're doing now is we're cutting the patterns for this new Tesla Model 3. Being a brand new car, we're gonna check our software and make sure that we pick the library that has the best patterns. We actually have 3 different repositories to choose from in order to make sure that the film custom fits that car. Now that we're done cutting, we're gonna go ahead and get started with the install portion. So at this point, we're gonna heat form the windows, basically trim them and shape them to be able to fit all the side doors. Then we're gonna move to the windshield as well as the rear glass. And when we do the rear glass, it requires special prep. So we're gonna take a pause there and look at some of those special prep that's required, as well as the special prep required in the windshield. Let's go ahead and get this car tinted. All right, so installation is pretty much done. I want to review a couple of things that we did that are special for this Tesla Model 3 that we'll do when we're installing window film on the front doors. First of all, our primary concern is going to be water intrusion. And so as you can see, the vehicles have been masked and properly prepped to prevent excessive water intrusion. One of the tools that are going to help it with that is our red line extractor squeegee. It's gonna extract the most amount of water, and you'll see that Josh is going from left to right and avoid going down with the water. And that way the water doesn't go beyond the door gaskets and really wet up those electronic goodies. The other thing that we're using are 2 different hardness of squeegees, the yellow turbo or red turbo, to be able to make sure that these soft squeegees, they're not catching or scratching anything that's on the interior of the vehicle. We also are not utilizing razors when we're prepping this car. It's a new car. All it requires is our blue scrub pad. We are going to file the top of the edges of the glass, and this ensures that we have film to the very top of the glass with no gaps on those roll up and down windows. Finally, we use a canister style sprayer. We really don't like using the spray guns or the handheld bottle sprayers on the rear glass or on the side glass. This has a fine tip. It focuses this spray exactly where I want to go. A fine mist It's going to give complete coverage without getting too much water that leads to excessive water intrusion. Next, we're going to move on to the back glass. I'm going to go over the steps that are required to prevent water intrusion. There's speakers, there's door panels, there are things that can get wet. So we're going to go over those special steps required. Looks like we're all done with the heat forming, the molding of the back glass. If you paid attention there, you'll see that this is the one piece of glass that we did not use the plotter to cut. And the reason why is because it's oversized. It's the biggest back glass you're going to find on a passenger window. It also requires a one-piece installation. It's very difficult to heat form. We don't go from the top to the bottom. We go from left to right, heat forming one side at a time. A lot of shops will do this in two-piece because they struggle with the install. We've mastered this installation. You also see behind me is that we have a mounting board or a peel glass. We call it our Tesla glass because it is like a portrait style versus a landscape style orientation. We can fit the entire back glass going from top to bottom. So when we get ready to peel that thing off the board, the water is going to drain straight down, and that's going to result into a cleaner installation with zero contamination. The tools that we're going to use that are special for this back glass are going to be the soak shield. It's a microfiber rope that goes all the way around the edges of the back glass to make sure that water intrusion doesn't get back, affect that rear light, as well as items that are in the trunk. We're also going to put a microfiber towel across the package tray, and that's going to protect the speakers and electronics from excessive water. All right, so we're all done with the back glass, completely installed, cleaned up. It's ready to go at this point. We're moving on to the front windshield. It's going to be similar to the back glass in that we're going to use the same type of microfibers and that soak shield rope to be able to mask off the electronics and protect there. But we're going to go an additional step. We're going to use the same type of plastic barrier that we used on the doors to prevent excessive water to getting on the screen as well as the dash of the Tesla. Let's check it out. Okay, so we are all done with that windshield installation. I told you that we took extra prep to prevent water intrusion. I want to show you just exactly how much water we're able to collect when we prep this correctly and what this is doing. I'm gonna walk over and grab this. Thank you, I'm gonna need the other ones too. What this is doing basically, this is collecting water that would normally be in your dash. And keep in mind this was dry. So looks as if we got about 1/3 of a venti cup here, and this would normally be inside of your dash. 1/3 of a venti cup. So by this extra prep and going to a place that knows how to prep the vehicle, you can prevent this from being in the dash of your Tesla. So we're all done with the car at this point. One of the last things I want to do is just verify some of the performance of the film. We took some baseline numbers in the very beginning outside, and now we're going to test this driver door. This is a dynamic test. We're going to use the same BTU meter. We're going to apply this heat lamp, and let's see what takes place. So first without film, and this thing is jumping from climbing 600, 700, 800s, 810, it's up there. Behind the glass, it's less than 10. My lowest reading at this point is 7. So it's a huge improvement in performance. Again, 600, 700, around 700, 800 BTU, and I'm saying hundreds. and I'm down into single digits. This is going to be a huge difference for the driver of this car. Right, so now that we're outside with the vehicle, what we're going to do is do a test to see what the solar power is going to be like. And with this solar power meter, we're taking a look at BTUs. Kind of held it there. It's in the 350, 354 range. And this is directly at the sun. When we're behind the window film, as you can see behind the sun, underneath the window film, that's dropping down, you know, to the 36.6, very low. This film is absolutely performing. This has been in the sun. And remember last time, I think they were somewhere around 180 degrees. And I want you to see that if you can. A 91.4. And let's look at the area that's not behind the film. And this is the area that is being protected. It's been in the sun. And the highest reading I can get is a 1, I think I saw a 111 there, but it's hovering around 102, 105. I'm gonna try to get the highest reading I can. And I see a 111, 109 is where I held it at. The dash, again, this is in the sun, and 96.7 is the highest reading I can get off the dash now that this window has been tinted and it's sitting in the sun. All right, I think that concludes the testing, and pretty convinced that the window film is doing its job. All right, so we're all done with the test. We did the indoor test, we did the outdoor test. The indoor test was more of a dynamic test to kind of see, depending on the amount of heat applied, what kind of difference will the film make. The outside test, we took a look at how the dashboard was after that we did the window tinting, and of course the seats after we've done the window tinting. So as you can see, it's not only the performance of the film that's made a huge difference, but also the looks of the car. The car's improved looks, there's privacy, there's heat reduction, and then of course protecting the interior occupants from both UV rays and excessive heat. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We went through all the different steps that are required to get a professional result. It's a 2019 Tesla Model 3 Performance Edition. Be sure to subscribe below, follow us on Instagram, visit us in store. We have a location at Elk Grove as well as Roseville. You can find us online at genesistinting.com. Thanks, and I hope you enjoyed the video.